this is Jarrod Horak. Welcome to my latest Road to the 2023 Kentucky Oaks video. And in this video, I'm going to do analysis of the Gulfstream Park Oaks. And this is another busy week on the road to the Oaks and Derby. So stay tuned to my YouTube channel. I'm going to have plenty more videos this week, including analysis of the Florida Derby and the Arkansas Derby. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like these Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks videos. And if you're interested in my full card analysis, Kentucky Derby Day will be available on Kentucky Derby Week at therunawayhorse.com on my sales page. I cover that annual product every year. And go over to therunawayhorse.com for my sales page for all the products that I'm going to be covering for the Triple Crown Series this year, including Derby Day, Preakness, and Belmont Stakes Day full cards, and some other products as well. Runawayhorse.com on my sales page if you're interested in any of that. And now we'll get into the analysis of this race. 12th race at Gulfstream Park, Saturday, April 1st, 2023. Grade 2, $250,000 Gulfstream Park Oaks, 3-year-old fillies, a mile and a 16th on the main track. Scheduled post time, 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and this is a Kentucky Oaks points race with 100 points for the win. So basically, it's a win and you're in. Probably if you finish second, you're going to qualify as well. And beginning for this field is going to be number 1, Flakes, and she's 15-1 morning line. And if you like her, you're definitely going to get a price. And she ran well in her career debut late last year on December 30th. 6 furlongs at Gulfstream Park, maiden optional claiming race, inside post, 6-horse field. She stalked, she took the lead, she pulled clear, and she won by 3 lengths. Second time out, she was 24-1 in the Forward Gal Stakes. That was a grade 3 at 7 furlongs on February 4th. And that was an Oaks points race. She had the inside post again, 9-horse field. She sat back in 6th, and she steadily lost ground. She was only a length and a quarter back through the halfway point of the race, but she ended up losing by 14 lengths. In her last start, she bounced back with a Florida-bred victory, 7-furlong allowance race. That was on February 22nd, and this time she had an outer post, post 6 in a 7-horse field. She pressed the pace, and she took the lead by more than 2 lengths, and she was able to hold clear by a length and a half, and she added Lasix that day. So now she loses Lasix here, and she stretches out in distance, and she's back along the inside this time after breaking from that post in her first 2 starts. And this Daughter of Frost is probably going to save ground stalking the pace. Infinite Diamond is next for trainer Pat Biancone. She is 6-1 morning line with Joao Rosario aboard. And her biggest races have been 1-turn miles at Gulfstream. She broke her maiden by 14 lengths in a 1-turn mile last September at the Gulf. And then a grade 1 Alcibiades at a mile and a 16th. She was 14th and last that day, beaten 73 lengths. Came back to Gulfstream in the 1-mile cash run, and she won that one, pressing the pace from second and winning clear by a couple lengths. A 1-turn mile last time in the Devona Dale, she was 4th, beaten 7 lengths in that 8-horse field. So I do think she's best around 1 turn in those longer sprints, and she'll probably end up chasing the pace in here. She's going to have to run one of her better races, for sure, as good as she ran in the cash run to even be considered for a top 3 award. Number 3 is Just Katherine. This one in this race is a daughter of Justify, and she's only run 3 times, and she ran well all 3 times. Her 6-furlong debut, she finished 3rd in a 7-horse field. Nice even effort there. Second time out, she added Lasix, and in that race, she was 2nd, beaten a half length. That was 6 furlongs as well. And then 7 furlongs last time. She broke her maiden. That was a good effort. Post 4 in a 7-horse field. She ended up coming from off the pace, rallying from 6th place to win by more than 5 lengths. So now she's stretching out around 2 turns in her first start against winners, and she's jumping into the deep end in this Oaks points race. Affirmative Lady is next for trainer Graham Motion. This is the daughter of Arrogant, and she's 10-1 morning line. And Luis Saez will ride, and they paid $400,000 for her. They always thought she would be a good one. And in her career debut at 6 furlongs at Keeneland last year, she rallied from 7th place in a 10-horse field to finish 3rd. Her second career start, they went from 6 furlongs to 7 furlongs, and she was back in 10th place, 10 lengths back, and she ended up finishing 4th, beaten 4 lengths. That was a 12-horse field. It wasn't a bad effort, and you could tell by the way they were progressing in distance that they kind of knew she would be better as distances got longer. Then they threw her into the deep end in the Grade 2 Demoiselle Stakes. It was in the slop, and in that Kentucky Oaks points race, Julia Shining for Todd Pletcher won that one. Affirmative Lady ran a good race there as a maiden. She was 7-1. She was sitting back in 5th place. She made a bid for the lead, and she had the lead in the stretch, but Julia Shining ran her down, and she was 2nd, beaten the neck. Very good effort. Then in her next Kentucky Oaks points race appearance, the Busanda Stakes, mile and an 1/8 on January 14th, That was at Aqueduct on a good track, and she was third, beaten 7 lengths. Now, Oak Halt was the winner there for trainer Todd Pletcher, highly regarded filly in his barn. He's hopeful to get that one into the Kentucky Oaks, and Affirmative Lady ran an okay race, finishing third. They went back to the maiden ranks to get her victory last time, and she did get it. In that race from post 1 at Gulfstream Park in a mile and a 16th, she stalked slow fractions, and she took over, and she won by more than 2 lengths. Now they're putting blinkers on in this race. She's coming back to the stakes ranks, and I can definitely see her impacting this race at 10-1 odds. Miracle for trainer Todd Pletcher is next, and she's number 5 at 5-2 morning line. Jarrod Ortiz Jr. will ride for the first time. This one used to be in the Rudolph Brissett barn, and that was last year in her career debut at Saratoga. She got pressed the pace, took the lead, and she won by open lengths. Second time out in a New York bred stakes race. And all of these races last year that she ran in were New York bred races. And in that stakes race, second time out at Saratoga in the slop, she finished third. In her next start, the Joseph Gimma Stakes at 7 furlongs at Aqueduct, she was second. They put blinkers on in the Maid of the Mist. And in that race, a 1-turn mile at Aqueduct, she had the lead, but she couldn't hold it. And she was second, beaten the length, 13 lengths clear of the rest. And the winner of that race was a next out winner as well. Now, Miracle came back in her first start this year at the fairgrounds in the Grade 2 Rachel Alexandra Stakes. She got out there and controlled the pace from the outside post. There was really no speed going on there. 25 for the opening quarter, 48 and 4 for the half. And it was really a race dominated by Pretty Mischievous and Miracle. They were the horses that were up there. Miracle tried to steal it, couldn't hold off Pretty Mischievous, but she was more than 7 lengths clear of the show finisher there. So I don't think that she's necessarily going to be able to control the pace in this race, but she should be forwardly placed. And she's run well in all 5 of her starts, and we'll see how long she can hang in there, impacting that pace. Number 6, Atomically, is also a Todd Pletcher trainee, and this daughter of Gervin has run 5 times with 2 wins and 2/3. In this 7-2 morning line, she's going to offer a little more value than her stablemate. And Jose Ortiz is going to ride back. He got to know her last time. Her career debut, 5.5 furlongs, Florida bred company. She finished an okay third of 10, and she went from 5.5 to 7 furlongs second time out, and she took the lead from post 7 in an 8-horse field, and she broke on top, and she just stayed clear, and she won by 7. That was a very easy and impressive win. She was in the Florida Sire Series, stretching out in distance in the My Dear Girl Stakes, and in that race at a mile and a 16th on October 1st, she had post 9 in a 10-horse field. She stalked wide. She just took over early, and she won by many lengths. A good effort there. They threw her into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies for her new trainer, Todd Pletcher. Jose Pinchin was her trainer for her first 3 starts. So she moved to the Pletcher barn, Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. She ran okay there. Post 8 in a 13-horse field. She was sitting in 5th place within striking distance for much of the running, worked her way up to 4th in the stretch, and then she got tired late. She was 7th, beaten almost 7 lengths. Her first start this year, the Forward Gal Stakes, from an inner post 3 in a 9-horse field. She was off slow. She broke last that day, and then she ended up stalking the pace and finishing very, very well clear of the rest. She was the favorite. She was third, and she was almost 8 lanes clear of the 4th place finisher. So I thought that was a solid enough effort, considering she was turning back in distance. First start this year, she broke last. Not embarrassed at all. Now that I think they're getting back to what she wants to do, which is a route on the main track. And if she can run back to her Florida bred stakes win last year, obvious contender, most likely stalking the pace. Sacred Wish is next for trainer George Weaver, and she's 9-2 morning line, and she is switching barns here. She ran her first 2 races at 6 furlongs at Oaklawn Park. She was third in the mud in her career debut in February, and then she came right back, and she won second time out. Now, that was a productive race in her debut. The top 3 finishers, including Sacred Wish, were all next out winners. And she added blinkers in her second start. And from the inside post, she pressed the pace and she won by 4. So now she's going to stretch out and switch barns. I liked that effort last time. Her speed ratings aren't bad, and I wouldn't be surprised if she was competitive in this heat. Dorth Vader rounds out the field. She's 4-1 morning line, and she exits a big victory at 46-1 odds in the Devona Dale. And she's won 2 other races, and they were both stakes races last year. Actually, she's won 3 other races. She broke her maiden against Florida Bred Company last August at Gulfstream, and then she won a state-bred stakes race at Gulfstream at 7 furlongs, and then at Tampa Bay, the Gasparilla Stakes, she won that one as well. the Sandpiper Stakes, excuse me. In the Gasparilla Stakes, she was up the track 6, beaten 11 lengths. So she's a 3-time stakes winner, and it was a good effort in that 1-turn mile in the Devona Dale last time out, where, considering she was 46-1, she really dominated that race. She stalked outside. She took the lead, and she just pulled well clear in that big upset. Now she's got the outside post. She's going to stretch back out around 2 turns. Her only 2-turn race, she ran against Atomically in that Florida Sire race last year. She was 3rd, beaten 11 lengths. So I really wouldn't want to play her at lower odds. She was 46-1 last time. She did look good. Let's see if she can do that again around 2 turns. Does have a bullet workout for this on March 23rd. So looking overall at this race, it could go through Todd Pletcher. Obviously, Miracle should make her presence felt throughout, but I don't really like the value there, especially if she doesn't get that same easy lead in this spot. I'm going to go with her stablemate Atomically as my top choice. She's number 6, stretching back out after that troubled 3rd in her first start this year. I think she's ready to go 2 turns now, and I think she's going to stalk the pace, get the jump on the closers, and win this race. So Atomically is going to be my top choice. Sacred Wish, my 2nd choice. Miracle, my 3rd choice. And Affirmative Lady, my 4th choice. And the numbers of my top 4, 6, 7, 5, and 4. We'll make a win wager on the 6, an exacta box 6, 7, the trifecta 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this content. And my next video that I'm going to be doing is the Florida Derby at Gulfstream Park for April 1st. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.